Switching in and out of daylight savings time is outdated, and it's only a source of annoyance and confusion. Frankly, it's just dumb, and there's just no other way to say it.
Several changes occur in the fall, including shorter days, lower temperatures, and colored leaves. But the beginning of autumn also means the end of daylight saving time for many Americans. This period, which is sometimes wrongly referred to as daylight savings time, began at 2 a.m. on the second Sunday in March, when clocks advance an hour, leading observers to lose an hour of sleep. Daylight saving time ends at 2 a.m. on the first Sunday in November, when clocks fall back an hour and observers gain an hour of sleep. So, why does daylight savings time exist, and why is it so unpopular? Hey guys, before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Several people attribute Benjamin Franklin's possible satirical letter he wrote for the journal de Paris in 1784 as the reason for daylight saving time. In the essay, An Economical Project, he described how astonished he was to see the sun rising at 6 in the morning, long before most Parisians were awake. If they were to rise with the sun, Franklin wrote, the city could save an immense sum from candles burning in the dark evening hours. Franklin never suggested a shift in clocks, however, instead offering other amusing solutions to the problem that included cannons firing in the street to awaken people from sleep, taxes for shuttered windows, and candle sales restrictions. Others credit the idea to George Hudson, an entomologist from New Zealand who in 1895 suggested a 2-hour shift to allow for more post-work bug hunting. Soon after, a British activist named William Willett proposed a similar idea to prevent wasting daylight, bringing the concept to the English Parliament in the early 1900s. It wasn't until resources became scarce during World War I that Germany decided to go ahead with just such a plan, implementing the first daylight saving time in 1916 to maximize resources used during sunlight hours. The United States soon followed, with the country's first seasonal time shift taking place in 1918. So, who observes daylight saving time? Not everyone is part of the clock-changing custom. Hawaii, the majority of Arizona, apart from Navajo Nation, Guam, Puerto Rico, American Samoa, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the Northern Mariana Islands are all U.S. territories that chose not to observe daylight saving time. Globally, the popularity of changing clocks varies as well. Most of North America, Europe, New Zealand, and a few regions of the Middle East are in on the annual shifts, though each has different starts and stop dates. But the majority of Africa and Asia do not change their clocks. South America and Australia are split on the matter.
The Nordic countries may be the first to make the leap, and coordination will be key to preventing time zones within time zones. But the public has overwhelmingly supported the idea, finding daylight savings to be a relic of the past.
The involvement of changing clocks in Europe may change soon. The required time shift, which has traditionally occurred between March and October, was ended by a vote of the European Union in 2019. However, it appears that this idea has been put on hold for the time being. By 2021, member states were supposed to determine whether to continue using summer or winter time, but talks have stalled while the EU dealt with the pandemic and the consequences from Brexit.
You can compare what's the heart attack data on the Monday after the spring forward time change in places that do have the change and then places that don't have the change, like Arizona, and they don't have a spike in heart attacks on that Monday morning after in Arizona, and they do everywhere else, and so it becomes really pretty clear evidence.
So what are the cons and pros to daylight savings time? For many, the change seems meddlesome, resulting in missed meetings and sleepy citizens. There may be even more severe effects. Some studies identified an increase in heart attacks that coincides with springing forward and a slight decrease when falling back. Other studies suggest that the time change could be linked to an increase in fatal car accidents, though the effect is small relative to the total number of crashes each year. Still, other concerns include impact to the immune system due to the inevitable sleep loss. What's more, many studies have questioned whether there have even been energy savings at all. A 2008 study from the United States Department of Energy suggested that in the United States, an extra 4 weeks of daylight saving time saved about 0.5% in total electricity a day. The later sunlight hours do often reduce electricity use during this time, but they also spare more intense use of air conditioning in the evening or greater energy demands to light up the dark mornings. But such effects can vary depending on where they occur. In Indiana, daylight saving time increased energy demand and pollution emissions, according to one study, whereas in Norway and Sweden, it generated a little decrease in energy consumption.
Over the driving theater, you can be sitting in your car, and it's who you're with. You know who you're with.
A relic of the past, But a consortium of drive-in movie theater owners blamed the downfall of drive-in movies on the adoption of daylight saving time in 1966, because extending daylight into the evening meant that movies could not start at a family-friendly hour. There were more than 4,000 drive-in movie theaters across America in the mid-1960s. Today, only about 320 remain. These days, arguments in favor of daylight saving time generally center on the boost the time shift gives to evening activities. People tend to go outside when it's light after work, playing sports, going for walks, taking kids to the playground, rather than sitting on the couch. Many outdoor industries, including golf and barbecue, have even promoted daylight saving time, which they say boosts profits. The petroleum industry is also a fan, as people drive more if it is still light after work or school. Nevertheless, the time change is quite unpopular in many places. After 4.6 million people responded to a study, it was revealed that 80% of them opposed the yearly shift. Furthermore, some American states are beginning to seek changes. A national movement called Lock the Clock has been underway to abolish daylight saving time. In March of 2022, the United States unanimously passed the Sunshine Protection Act of 2021, which would make daylight saving time permanent, no more changing clocks. Although the act stipulates a November 2023 start date, as of March 2023, it still had not passed the House and remained in committee. So, for the time being, if you reside in a region where the clocks are changed twice a year, be mindful of its effects. Hey guys, we come to the end of the video. In the comment section below, let me know if you're in favor or oppose daylight saving, and why. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. Until then, we'll see you next time.